Some common mistakes or misunderstandings that I see are some misunderstandings about what DNA test results might mean, right? Or how we might use them in genealogical research. Um, when I tell people that I work in genetic genealogy and that I use DNA test results to figure out who people's bio parents are or who their bio great 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 grandfather is, they sometimes look at me and they say, "How do you figure that out from just ethnicity estimates?" And there's a perception that, these DNA tests are telling us that, well, you get 30% from, France, and you get 20% from Germany, and maybe, 15% from Spain, and how can you use those percentages to narrow in on a who somebody's biological parent is? And the truth is that ethnicity estimates are only one part of the equation. In fact, they're the broadest element of what we use, and we do use them to get broad context and understand kind of what we're working with. But the real gold in genetic genealogy test results is that list of genetic cousins and who is related to you and who shares DNA with each other and what segments of DNA do they share with each other, and who are their common ancestors. Using that information, we can reconstruct people's family trees from the back forward. Whereas with documentary research, we're often limited to working with the documents to try and push it back. With genetic genealogy, we have this opportunity to identify common ancestors between people and identify them as your likely ancestors, and then go to the document evidence to find the right people in the right place at the right time to be biological relatives. That kind of leads us into another common misunderstanding, which some people will ask me, well, what if this person's ancestors didn't do a DNA test? Or maybe what if we haven't done, DNA testing on the body of their great, 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 great grandparent, right? So it's important to realize that genetic genealogy tests are based on connecting you with living people or people who were recently living who had an opportunity to take a DNA test within the last 10 years. And what the conclusions we're drawing are not necessarily to say, oh, you descend from this person who, we tested their DNA because we stole it from a cemetery. It's because you share chunks of DNA that had to come from a recent common ancestor. And then the challenge just becomes identifying who was that common ancestor and who is that person that we can use to solve your family history mysteries.